Weekly, GarageBand Weekly, GarageBand Weekly. Ooh. Need an answer to your question? John, he'll have a suggestion. He's a fountain of all knowledge. I think he might have gone to GarageBand College. What he doesn't know, we'll try and find out. So join the chat and give him a shout. Hey, John. Hey, John. GarageBand Weekly.
Well, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome into GarageBand Weekly here on Studio Live today. My name's Pete Johns, and for the next hour or so, we'll be chatting about GarageBand and Logic Pro and YouTube and what I've been up to for the last 24 hours. It's going to be a good old time, and I hope you're ready for it. We've got some news and notes for you, and I did have a show prepared about guitars that I was going to finalize yesterday. And then some stuff happened that I'll tell you about a bit later. In fact, I'm doing the YML after party will be after this show today, for reasons that will become apparent as we go through the show here today. But can I get some thumbs up in the chat to let me know that this thing's actually on? Hang on, is this thing on? Check 1, 2. Because if you didn't know, yesterday my live stream got ended abruptly and early due to a situation regarding community guidelines that I violated. Sounds serious, doesn't it? And look, it is. I'm laughing now, but yeah, I wasn't exactly ecstatically laughing at the point that it happened. But these things happen in life. They come along to test us and hopefully to make us stronger and to help learn what happens and what you should and shouldn't do. And look, what do they say? Ignorance is no defense. Yep, I definitely get that. I'm definitely on board with that. I just was very, very surprised with what went down. So that's all I'm going to say about that, except that if you're a member, if you're a cool cat like the likes of Denise, who's here, like Dave Bops, like Mark Bro, like Gary Hubbs, then yeah, you can hang around after the show. G'day to other folks we've got here live. G'day to Kenneth. Hello to Billie Eilish, who's live. Al Davis Music, Studio 6+1. The one and only Alexander Dean Francis is here as well. So yeah, if you're ever intrigued to learn a little bit about the back end and the underbelly of what goes on. Hello, Fat Panda Cat. Hello, Jade Star. What goes on and how this all came about and then what happened from there. I'm going to share as much of the story as I can after this show on the after party. Yes, the YML after party, more than 24 hours late, but we're going to do it anyway. Hello, Phoenix Falling. I hope you are well. And Barry Glenn. G'day, Bazza. How you doing, Bazza? Alrighty. So yeah, we're going to talk news and notes here. Like I said, I didn't have a lot of time to prepare much else. If you've got questions or comments or things that you want to know about, please feel free to throw them in the chat. Thank you, Jenny. Yeah, it was touch and go. I got to tell you, I hit the button to go live, and never have I watched that little go live button spin with more trepidation. There's a word for you. Word of the day: trepidation. I was trepidized. I was watching it going. Because yesterday, after the happenings, I went to try and set up a show, and it said this channel is blocked from live streaming, and I went, uh-oh. So we will endeavour to correct it. But look, and again, I appreciate and understand entirely, but I talk about this a lot. You build your house on borrowed land. And you have to follow the rules. And sometimes the landlord has a rule that's written in the fine print of the contract that maybe they don't even understand completely. And maybe they don't even follow it to the letter of the law. And then, yeah, there's these false positives. And then, yeah, hopefully you get things rectified. And if you don't, you learn a lesson and you do things differently the next time. So we'll see how we go. Yeah, look, good luck trying to find the right version of YML. There's two. There's the original live show, which went down and then came back up. There's part 2 that I had to premiere because I couldn't live stream it. And then I've put together both parts of YML into the Redux version, which I have unlisted at the moment, but will make live soon, probably after this show. We'll see how we go. G'day, Les, as well. Hope you are doing well. Alrighty. Hello to Carl, Concentrated Generation Work. Oh, is that what CGW stands for? got it. Yeah. Look, and in terms of don't worry, I went through the same help. I'll tell you all about it. I went through the same helpline and they still haven't got back to me. So I still don't know where I'm at. This may be a temporary, this may be like a bail. I may be on bail before they put me in YouTube jail. So they've said, oh yeah, we'll get that to the right department. And then I haven't heard anything since, but they unticked whatever box made me unable to live stream. So we'll see how we go. We'll cross our fingers and our toes. G'day, Bradley McKnight as well. I hope you are doing well. Yes, the director's cut. The director's cut, indeed. And look, I wasn't going to go into detail here, and I'll go into more detail in the after show, but it's always a good learning lesson when these things come about. I know it's like, oh, Pete, get angry for a change. Stop being so philosophical. And look, I was kind of scared to start with, but what I realized is that, like most things in life, you got two options. You got two paths that you can go down. You can go down the throw in the towel. This is all bullshit. Angry, yelling, screaming, ranting, throwing, breaking, or you can just stop. Take a breath and go, right, where are we? What's our next steps? What can I control? What can't I control? What can I do? What can't I do? And I quickly worked out, can't live stream, but I could premiere. So I had to record the rest of the show and premiere that out. And then it was like, right, so what do I do now? I appeal the process. And then it came back within like a minute saying appeal rejected, which basically means it hasn't gone to a human yet. It's gone back into its automated system and then rejected my appeal. So I'm like, right, now what do I got to do? I got to go and find the YouTube help. And for anyone that's played around with the YouTube help, it's a challenge. It can be a challenge. Exactly. Breathe in, breathe out, and move on. It wasn't even anything remotely that fun and saucy. Actually, this shirt's kind of chafing me. No, I'm going to be so good. Welcome to Paranoid Pete, because after the cricket incident, which if you know, you know, and then this, I'm going to be so paranoid about streaming anything. If there's anything remotely controversial, I'm sorry, it's going in the no pile for a while. Guess what? It's also Cyber Monday for a lot of folks, and there's lots of Cyber Week deals. And I'll say what I say every time that these things happen, because you know what? Between Christmas and New Year's sales and Boxing Day sales, between Mad Friday and Black Monday and Cyber Wednesday and whatchamacallit day, Amazon Prime Day, there's sales all the time. There really are sales all the time. So I'll say two things to you. Number one, if you are going to buy stuff, if you can do me a solid, you can do it via the Gear Guide, studiolivetoday.com/gear, especially if you're going through Amazon. Just click your country there and go buy your stuff. They will break off a chunk and send it to me. All of my gear is on there on the Gear Guide as well, so that you can go and check it on out. And the other thing I'll say is before you buy, go to camel.com. It's my favorite website. Not enough people know about it, not enough people use it, so I'm telling you at every possible situation. So if you come here and you're searching for something, you're like, oh, I saw the new MacBook Pro. I saw that was on sale at the moment. You can search it out here. You can find the version you want, and it will actually tell you what the good deals are versus the dodgy deals. And it will come in here and actually give you, well, actually that took me into, I clicked the Amazon link. But, so if you go to my Gear Guide, then come in here, we didn't want to view it there, we wanted to click this one. You can actually see the graph. So look at that. Is it a good deal? Absolutely. So buying this for the $1,349, yes, because it was released back here at $1,600. This is indeed the lowest price it's been at. If you see something that just goes bouncing up and down, just time yourself and buy it. Things like microphones, I've told you this before, but things like the Shure SM57, which I'm happy to say, you know how it went up to 109? It's actually back down to 99. So again, you just play the waiting game, and you can see here, the only difference is it used to be 99, it would drop to 89 when it was on sale, and right down to 84 at its absolute bottom, no, 87. But now it went back up to its retail price of 109 for the first time, and then now it's back to 99. So yeah, again, you can see here that it looks like that's its new normal, and it looks like 99 is a good deal for it now. So if you're waiting for it to go back down to 89, maybe, but given we're in the peak sale point and it's 99, I think that's its new price, its new floor price as well. So check out Camel, check out the gear guide if you're going to buy stuff. And it's a great time to buy, to stock up for your next year's essentials. So I don't buy the new shiny stuff. Like, yeah, you know, you got those big front page deals where it's like, save $200 and you're spending thousands. Buy guitar strings. Buy cables, buy leads, buy adapters, buy batteries. That's a great thing to buy right now. Buy the stuff that you know you're going to have to buy next year anyway. But instead of paying the premium of buying a small amount of it when you've just run out, like me and 9-volt batteries, what did I do the other day? I went and stocked up. So I've now got, I bought two 4-packs of Energizer 9 volts. So my pedals, my guitar, my acoustic guitar, they're always going to have, and not to mention, you know, smoke detectors. So my house won't burn down and protect my gear. Just buy what you want. Exactly. Buy what you want. Like, and take reviews with a grain of salt. Pinch of salt, shaker of salt, mountain of salt. So yeah, the two things you need to kind of ignore is the percentage off and the sale price. And then people that are, especially this time of year, how many lists are there out there of like, the 20 essential home studio pieces of kit you need? And you just know that the person's pimping their own affiliate links. And you might say, well, Johns, I think you're a hypocrite then, because aren't you doing exactly that? Yeah, but don't buy that. Like, I don't ever promote stuff that I don't personally use, that I haven't personally put my hands on. Or, in the very rare case, someone like a Jade Star or a Thomas Christ or someone I know and trust tells me this thing is rad, then I might say, hey, Jade says this is good, go buy it and it's cheap at the moment. So that's kind of it. But yeah, there are a lot of folks out there that are just pushing you towards affiliate links and affiliate sales, and the amount of web pages now, like you try and search for like air conditioners, instead of getting the professional air conditioner pages, you're getting some 19-year-old that's bought up a bunch of web pages and that's built these AI lists of like the 20 best air conditioners of 2025. And it's a giant crock. It's your first, and that's the thing. For a lot of people, they're buying less because I don't know if you know this about the economy right now and buying power, but it's not great. And it's not just tariffs, it's a whole bunch of reasons. But if you're in the market for stuff and you're going to buy it, use the gear guide. I'll love you forever. While you're doing me favors, if you can hit the thumbs up button, I will be your best friend forever as well. It helps the algorithm. And considering I've probably got a big black mark next to my name right now, I need all the help I can get with the algorithm. So if you can press the thumbs up button, it just tells other humans. It makes sure that they get my notifications in their feed. It makes sure that they knows that we're doing the shows right here. Let's talk about news and notes. I thought this was interesting. Have you heard? Have you seen? If, like me, you carry like multiple phones and tablets and and like headphones and things around with you all the time, you've probably got a bunch of chargers. And to date, all of the chargers have used lithium-ion battery technology. And if you've been watching the news, yeah, a lot of people, who do I blame? I kind of blame the Sheins and the Temus of the world, because you can now buy like a 10,000 milliwatt hour battery or 20,000 for like $10. And it comes on the Temu Express straight from China. And look, all the other ones are made in China too. So this is not about a made in China thing. But the ones made by Anker and made by Ugreen and made by others that you buy on Amazon and eBay, they actually have like the ticks, the safety checks. They have the overheating ability to shut down so they're not going to catch fire. And airlines are cracking down on these things. So for the longest time, you haven't been able to put them in your checked luggage. You have to put them in your carry-on luggage. And now they're limiting the size and they're limiting the type of batteries and how many of them you can actually carry onto planes. So even here in Australia, the latest has been Qantas and Virgin, our two major domestic carriers, have both said, yeah, no, you can now, it's got to have it clearly marked on there, it's wattage, and it's got to have branding, and it's got to have the ability to have a safety shut off for overheating. So yeah, unfortunately, like most things, and all those ads that you see where it's like $1, 1 cent, we'll give it to you for free, buy it from Temu and Shein now. Yeah, they've caught again. We can't have nice things because unfortunately, dodgy companies have tried to undercut each other. The race to the bottom has meant that we have these really poor quality electronics that are in our batteries, and that means that the batteries are being banned all over the place. The hope for the future is is solid state batteries. So if you haven't, I'm not going to go into the details of this because quite frankly, I'm not a chemical engineer and I don't understand all of it. But think of it in terms of your lithium ion or your spinning discs. There's not moving parts in there, but there's lithium, as Fat Panda Cat saying here. It's the last thing you want exposed to air or water. Exactly, you want a quality case for that. But the semi-solid state packs are coming, and I think this will be the next thing. This will not only be a better battery technology, better like lifetime of, because again, lithium it's a product, like it's a finite resource. You think, oh, I got a battery, it's going to last forever. No, it'll last about 1,000 charge cycles if you're lucky, and then it will be basically trash and landfill. So safer, should wear out slower, and at the moment, just like when solid state hard drives came out, ridiculously expensive, but it is a nice sign in to what we're going to get in the future, which is going to be hopefully some better quality and better safety in our battery packs. And yes, again, you get what you pay for, folks. Like, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. And like, if you've seen like Technology Connections, and who's the guy, the big guy that does the tech stuff, Crazy Dave, Crazy Ken. Crazy Ken's tech. He's done a lot of these sort of things. And Big Clive, which when I first saw, I thought it was Big C Live, but it's Big Clive. So yeah, Big Clive does like breakdowns and teardowns of like USB drives and batteries, and just basically shows how trash these things are. The ones you buy at your supermarket, the ones that are hanging there, but in the area where you get the cables, you get the batteries. Don't buy your cables and your batteries from a supermarket, folks. Buy them from a technology or an electronic store, or if you're buying them online, make sure that they're brand name, and don't buy the cheapest of anything. That's probably a bit like buying a bottle of wine when you go to a restaurant. If you buy the absolute cheapest, then you get what you pay for. So do what most of us do and just go down the wine list, find the cheapest, and go up. And then it's Anchor. Anchor or Ugreen. They're like the one up from the I've never heard of that brand before, but it's worth going for. Hello. No, I'm back. I'm here. At least I think I am. Hello, Florf. Germany. Drink. Apparently Florf is from Germany. That's what I've heard. This is a cool thing that we do here in Australia. We do AusMusic T-Shirt Day, and it's designed to raise money for the music industry. So on one day every year, we'll don our favourite AusMusic T-shirt, and you can choose to then make a donation to the fund that actually helps out people. Because I don't know if you know this about the music industry right now, it's kind of in turmoil, and it's not just. So the Second Act is the company that works on this, and it's to help out people. So there's a story in here about an artist who was like touring with Paul Kelly and like famous Australian musicians, and then she got pregnant. I don't know if you know this about being an independent contractor, like me, or like musicians. Yeah, no maternity leave, no annual leave, no sick leave. You get sick, too bad. You get pregnant, too bad. You need time off to look after a sick relative, too bad. So, yeah, and look, tiny violins for people who get to play music and do musical stuff as a career, but we do need to support these people a lot better, because unfortunately, the pool of funds that we have for music is decreasing. And again, rant alert, whip, whip, rant alert. The pool of funds for musicians is decreasing. We've seen a lot of money going into the pockets of people like Spotify, of the big labels, the three big labels, of the larger artists who can, sell out tours to Live Nation and Ticketmaster, who put ridiculous prices on top of the tours. Yet the actual pool of money that's going to just your working musician, a session musician, a touring musician, someone who puts out an album every few years and needs to, feed their family, that's decreased significantly. So things like this are just important to stop and think about the people. And in the world of AI and scalability and technology, yeah, without humans sharing their musical stories. Yesterday on YML, before things happened, we played a track by Thomas Gillane, who is a wonderful creator, really, really nice guy. I've known him for a long time. And the song he shared literally made me cry. And to the point where I felt sorry for the next artist we had to play, which was Centre Left Right, because I was like, and here's another song, click, because I had to pull myself together. I could barely speak. A robot's never going to write that song, and even if they did, I would feel gross about it. But knowing that a human with lived experiences has shared their story and has turned it into this beautiful work of art that is a song, that's what we need to celebrate. And I know I'm a broken record, I'm a broken MP3 with this stuff, but yeah, the further down the rabbit hole we go, the more. And look, it's like with every movement, there'll always be a counter movement. So yeah, no, it absolutely hasn't. Like a lot of the problems, and that's the thing. Not only the musicians, but think about the roadies, think about the crew behind the scenes, the audio engineers, the people that do the lighting and the rigging. There's people right throughout the industry. The people that work for like the small independent record label that can't make enough money, that used to make enough money from their stable of artists through streaming and through sales, and now can't. So the person that working 20 hours a week, getting the coffees for the executives in the boardroom, they don't have a job now. So it goes all the way down, doesn't it? All right, I know. Is there any good news out there, Johns? Well, there kind of is. I thought this was fun. The AI bubble's about to burst. I know. I'm shocked. No. So Michael Burry, if you don't know, he's the Big Short guy. And he was the one back in 2008. He was the one that said, "Yep, we're shorting all these stocks. There's about to be a crash." And lo and behold, there was. And you could argue about whether it's, did you know or did you drive this? Like pump and dumps are notorious for, oh wow, and then the bubble burst, and it's like, yeah, the bubble burst, but you were holding a very large needle right next door to it. So this is interesting because this is a big hedge fund guy, and he's deregistered his hedge fund. He's started a newsletter which he charges people for because, of course, he does, and he's predicting that the bubble is about to burst. So, and if you don't know about shorting, it's basically the opposite of thinking something's going to go well. So what you do with shorting is instead of investing in the stock market and saying, I think AI is great, so I'm going to buy all the NVIDIA shares, I'm going to buy all the Corsair shares because we're going to keep needing more and more servers, I'm going to invest in energy companies because we're going to need more and more energy, you do the opposite. So you actually basically bet against, and you literally do that. You can short a stock, which basically means you borrow money to say, not only am I not buying this share, I'm going to unbuy the share. It's a whole thing. It's confusing but shorting basically the opposite of investing in. If you think something's going well, you buy shares. If you think something's about to tank, you short the stock. So it's just interesting that even within the sort of the tech bro sector, there's people that are starting, even the ones that were super hype and that were like part of the big hedge funds that were actually funding a lot of this stuff. We're starting to see the quiet departure from the sinking ship. And it'll be really interesting to see how that goes about in the future. I'm paranoid here now that the stream is going to stay up. So I'm going to check my own stream halfway through it just to make sure that I'm still live. Let's just check. I'm going to check my own stream halfway through it just to make sure that I'm still live. Yeah, you got to do it. It's a good thing. It ain't about to burst for Palantir and NVIDIA stocks are overvalued. Yeah, it's about to burst, but it won't slow down for tech. So jobs, that's the thing. We need to convince not the investors. We need to actually convince the businesses that are, because the C-suite, the CEOs and CFOs are still actually all about the AI. They love it. So they think that it's going to take over the world and they think it's going to replace all the jobs, but hopefully not. Hey, speaking of people making money and taking money out of the music industry, Spotify preparing for a price hike next year? Yeah, apparently. There's a first quarter, there's a report from the Financial Times that prices will rise for the first time since 2024 in the first quarter of 2026. So, look, we've seen price hikes in other regions, but for the US, it's been stable since 2024. So it has gone from $9.99 to $10.99 to $11.99, and then it sort of sat there. So we're now thinking that the word is that we're going to see a price increase in the next year, which, hey, if like me, you checked out a Spotify a while ago, no biggie. But the problem is, I went into my local. Again, it's affecting everything. I went to watch a hockey game at my local sports bar. There's one sports bar in all of Adelaide that plays the hockey because it's not at a weird time. Like it's midday. If I want to watch a West Coast game, I have to go there at midday. And I sit up in the sports bar with 3 or 4 other people who watch the hockey. And I was a little bit worried about this, but they've decided to start closing. And so they've closed the bar on like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, which is when a lot of the sport is, which is, the Sunday games and the Monday games in the NHL. And they've also put their prices up. And they've also reduced the time of their happy hour. So it's very weird, isn't it, that it's the shitification all over again. It's businesses that are delivering lower quality products, that are delivering less value, and are now charging more for it. And that's what Spotify are doing. Instead of increasing the payment and the royalties back to artists, and yes, biased because I'm an artist and I don't get paid by Spotify anymore because they decided that if you get under 1,000 streams per song, you get paid nothing, which was a very weird decision in my opinion. So I don't get paid by them anymore. But yeah, that money, that additional dollar per user, which is a lot. Think of the millions of users in the US of Spotify who will suck up and eat that extra dollar a month. That's $12 per year per user. That's a lot of extra coin. It's a lot of extra ivory back scratches for Daniel Ek. Yeah. Yes, it's gone up in the UK, hasn't it? From $11.99 to $12.99. And it went up by $1 from here in Australia earlier in the year. So they're increasing it. They're testing it in small markets, and then eventually they drop it. And they're offering 2 free months. I get, at least weekly, I get a Spotify promo saying we'd love to, because I was a premium Spotify user for maybe a year and I haven't gone back. And I keep on there. I know I could get off the mailing list, but I kind of, better the devil you know, I kind of want to see where they go with this because I need to report it. I need to tell folks like you to maybe move on to other things. I just use YouTube Premium, which includes YouTube Music and is treating artists better from what I understand. Yeah, look, still not great. I don't get paid a fortune from YouTube Music, but I get paid something. I get paid a proportion. Like I don't have to get 1,000 streams per song to actually get paid. If you stream my music through YouTube or YouTube Music, it does actually pay. And if you're a YouTube Premium member and you're worried about people like myself and Jade and Thomas, we still get paid. If you're part of the YouTube Partner Program, when you see your YouTube Partner Program payments, partner program, that's a lot of the piece. You'll see that there's the ad revenue, and then there's a much smaller chunk, which is YouTube Premium revenue. And honestly, the more people that are on YouTube Premium, I think the better, because it means less ads are served. It means YouTube have to go out and buy less poor quality ads. You won't get like knowledge. You won't get like the hour-long spammy ads that are currently quite common on YouTube, which usually you can skip, sometimes not. So yeah, YouTube Premium. And what a lot of people don't realize is that as Gotcha is saying here, you get YouTube Music for free with YouTube Premium. And here in Australia, it keeps going up. I think it's about $17.99 as opposed to, I think it's $12.99 for Spotify. But for an extra $4 or $5 a month, you get all ad-free videos. And my favorite feature is that you can listen to YouTube videos. So you can turn your phone off and you can keep listening. And I listen to a lot of long form content, a lot of live streams, a lot of interviews, and that's just gold for that, for long form content, to be able to turn your phone off, stick it in your pocket, or when you're going to sleep at night, just stick on like a 2-hour long rant. I'll put Jade rants on, or Thomas Christ's like Q&A rant shows, and just go to sleep to the dulcet tones of my friends at night, knowing that 4 cents of my YouTube Premium for that month might go to them. Oh dear. All right, what else have we got in the news? So yeah, Spotify prices up. I'm not going to touch on this in much detail. Jay did a great show yesterday all about Suno and the AI music and what's going on with it. I'm just going to say that look, it's end days here. Warner Music Group partners with Suno to offer AI likeness of its artists. Yay! So yeah, you can go and make your own AI Mariah Carey and make it sing a dodgy, creepy version of that Christmas song. I don't want a lot for Christmas. All I want is Fat Panda Cat. You could make her sing just to you. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. Sorry for the call out there. My favourites are the ones with a dentist, engineer, chef builds something that shocks the world and refuses $1 million offer from company to seek to sell it to people. Yeah, it is funny, isn't it? I saw one of those for there's one a lighter, which again, who I don't know. Maybe because I'm not an outdoorsy type, but there's this lighter, and it's like this lighter has a flame like 10 times more powerful than a gas lighter, and it doesn't require it's completely like electric and doesn't require any fuel. And it was what's the thing? It was it's used in the military, and that it hasn't been able to be sold to the public for all this time, but now it's available. And it's like, yeah. Yeah, or the doctors hate when people find out about this thing. And it's like, I'm pretty sure the doctors would be cool. If there was some miracle cure or some miracle treatment, doctors aren't going to be like, oh, I'm furious. I mean, some might. Depends how much money they're making. Depends how many pharmaceutical companies are in their pockets. But yeah, or yeah, what's the one? It's like Congress people are racing back to Washington to ban this substance. So quick, buy it now. And you like look at it, and it's just the horse tranquilizer or something. And you're like, what the heck? Who's falling for this stuff? But someone must be because it's there. Manually being a fake band seems such a waste of time now. We should just automate. No, don't do it. Girlfriend in your luggage. You're the OG. You're my favorite original fake band. If someone's going to be using technology to create music, I want the effort. I want a human there. I want the Wizard of Oz pulling the levers of the big scary monster. Sorry, I watched the Wicked movie the other day, so it's in my head at the moment. Alrighty, Australia's got a national AI plan. Who knew? So yes, artificial intelligence to be managed through existing laws under the National AI Plan. So this is it. By the way, all these articles are down in the description if you want to read through and get it. The short version of this is the federal government's released its National AI Plan, which will guide investment in data centres and worker training. The plan is to shift away from the former industry minister's plan for mandatory guardrails to protect against AI's worst harms. So it's a nice way of saying, like what's happening in the rest of the world, the government's going very hands-on with a lot of things and very hands-off with this. So it's interesting to see that they were going to put in new laws, guardrails to say what can and can't be done with AI, protection for workers, protections for the safety of data, protection for the environment, protections for energy use and consumption. And then they decided to not. They're like, the current laws are fine. They'll cover it. Yeah, how did that work out? How did that work out for the internet? We're still using communications laws from the days of Morse code and telegrams. How is that working out for now that we can communicate at like the speed of light with our mobile devices instantly? Yeah, you need new laws and you need new guidelines when there's new technology. Otherwise, basically people can get away and do whatever they want. And look, I don't know, you can argue about the regulation of things and how much you need to regulate versus not regulate. But yeah, I honestly think that treating this like anything else. And look, I guess the positive, the flip side of that is when the bubble does burst, at least we don't have these new laws that are talking about things that don't even matter anymore. So yeah, I get it. Don't write new laws just for the sake of it and for something that may not be around for a long time. But yeah, it's a little scary when you see, because you're like, without limitations, without the ability to say there's what you can and can't do, what do we think businesses are going to do? Are they going to do nothing, or are they going to do everything? I'd put my money on everything. Alrighty, this one's interesting. So if you think, oh, but that's Australia, Johns, at least we don't have anything to worry about over here in the US. Yeah, what about the App Store Accountability Act? Would make Apple responsible for age verification. I know we haven't talked about much Apple and GarageBand related stuff here, but this one's big. Imagine you as let's say you're 46 or 72 or 21 or 31 or you're 16. Yeah, the App Store is going to be accountable for age verification. Now, I don't know. Let me know what you think about this. I definitely think I would trust Apple because Apple already has things like my driver's license within apps. Within my wallet, they know a lot about me. They've got access to my bank. Seriously, Apple could basically become me if it needed to. It's got my driver's license. It's got my credit cards. I'm already giving all this stuff to Apple. So if I could just press a button that said, don't share that with name of app, but just allow app to know that I'm over age, I think that might actually be the best plan. Looking at the names on there between Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Reddit, Discord, and Twitch, yeah, there's a much larger likelihood of issues happening with those companies compared to an Apple or a Google, because let's be honest, it'll be Android and it'll be Apple that mostly will have to manage this. So, what do you think? Should it be that way? How should you manage this? We've got a big thing at the moment in Australia with the age verification. There's been some kind of starts and false starts. It's a week away, by the way. And I'm right in the thick of it because I've got a 13 turning 14-year-old daughter, and she's started to lose access to things. And I'm not necessarily for or against it, but it's not being managed well. Like, we've already seen things like Snapchat popping up and asking people to take photos of themselves, and people using photos of other people, and there's already hacks and workarounds. Like, we knew this was coming, right? We knew that the kids would be smarter than the safety regulator people in the government. The kids are going to work out a way around it, or they're going to find another platform that's completely unregulated, because this is the problem with banning. They've banned it at a specific app level. Now, that's wonderful, but what happened when they banned TikTok for a couple of days in the States? Everyone moved to that Chinese version of TikTok and used that for a couple of days until it was unbanned. So all that's going to happen is that they're going to sprout up these less secure versions of the same stuff that we were using before. I don't know. I don't have the answer either, because I get it. We don't want kids to have access to inappropriate content. But at some point, we have to look at just the people creating the content. Maybe they need to be held more accountable to create, like dodgy buggers like me who preach community guidelines. We need to be held more accountable. And maybe people who are actually parenting these children need to be responsible. But again, as a parent, I know how hard that is. Your kid, unless you watch them 24/7, which is weird and creepy, they've got access to phones and tablets. They're going to be able to do things. And controversial opinion, they kind of should. I know it's more dangerous these days, but as a kid, as a 10, 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old, I was out there. Internet, like the world of BBSs and dial-up modems, and the internet was in its infancy, and you couldn't quite get into as much trouble on a 56K modem, but yeah, you learn your limitations and you learn what happens out there in the real world. And sometimes it's scary. But guess what? Life sometimes is a bit scary. And I'm not saying let's expose 8-year-old children to horrific violence or anything else. I'm just saying there's got to be a better way than to just ban this stuff at the app or the service level. Don't you reckon, Joe Glenn? Hello, Joe. Hope you're doing well. Enjoying your lurking. So that is your news and your notes for today. I did mention that I would at the end of the show give a little bit more. So just to let you know, if you're just joining us here, I'm very happy to be back and to be streaming. I had to go through a process yesterday where there was one of the songs I played on Your Music Live was flagged, and it was removed, so that the show was stopped. And all I got was literally the reason I've been freaking out here today is I'm watching the chat, and yesterday I'm watching the chat and the chat just stalls. Now, sometimes when the chat stalls, you're just not saying anything. That's cool. Sometimes when the chat stalls in a live stream, it means that I've lost my connection and I need to do some legwork. And sometimes when the chat stalls, it means your stream has been shut down, and it can be shut down due to copyright. And weirdly enough, when you're I've been shut down due to copyright once before, and I think Thomas Christ has been shut down due to copyright once before. Not as big a deal. It shuts down your stream, but there's virtually no other consequences to it, unless it's a strike, unless you actually get a copyright strike. But sometimes it's just not. You've been streaming too much of this song, and instead of like letting it go and then giving you a strike afterwards, we're just going to shut down your stream. And I don't think that's terrible. It's actually a lot easier than the community guidelines ones, where it shuts down the stream. And then it also gives you a community guidelines violation. And I had one a while ago in an after party show where I showed some cricket, and now I had a second one. So what that did is it automatically triggered the inability to live stream again, which was sad. And then what I'd have to do, I had to appeal it, which I mentioned before. The appeal was not successful. So I spent some time in a YouTube chat. I had to first find how to get hold of YouTube, because of course it wanted to send me to all the help articles and to all the websites and to all the policies. And I'm like, yep, I'm cool, YouTube. I've read all the policies. I've done all the training. It's fine. And then eventually got hold of a very nice person who was trying to help. To start with, it was just sharing links and sending stuff to me, and that was okay. But I'm like, no, I think we need a little bit more of this. And eventually, I convinced them. And again, I used the catch more flies with honey than with poison. Now, what is it? Honey than with vinegar? Yeah. So I used the honey approach, and I was just like, oh, thank you so much. I'm like, yes, was I being a suck up? Yeah, a little bit. But I was kind of in like, I need this person to be on my side, because they can shut it down. As we know, they can just say no. Or if you're lucky, they will escalate it to the internal department, which is what ended up happening. Weirdly, the way that I found out that the show was back up is that I got a notification of a comment. And it was from Auntie G, bless her. Auntie G and Marcus Cannell. Auntie G had said, oh, thanks for playing my song on your show, Pete. And I'm like, wait, what? How is she commenting? That video doesn't exist anymore. And I said, I'm like out with my wife, and I'm like, Georgie, I got to go check. I got to go check the computer. We're like watching TV and hanging out. And I'm like, I'll be back in a sec. And I came out here, and there was no notification, no update from YouTube, except that the show was back. And I'm cool. Yeah, more flies with poison than with vinegar, right? G'day, Sean. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you are doing well. I still don't know. Like I say, as I mentioned at the start of the show, I haven't had the official word back, and they did say 24 hours, which is about now. So I'm still a little bit scared. I thought, let's just jump in and do the show now. And the worst result is, if you do have that community guideline violation twice within 90 days, then you lose the ability to live stream for 7 days. So I was already pre-planning. I'm like, right, I'll be pre-recording a bunch of shows. I'll pre-record the happy hour. I'll pre-record Your Music Live for next week. I'll get everything set up. I've put that on hold for now, but you'll find out within the next day or two. I will share any further updates or outcomes of this stuff, because, as I mentioned before, it's one of the joys, the quote unquote joys of building your house on the borrowed land that is YouTube and Google. Alphabet. I was trying to think of the name. Alphabet. What else do I have to tell you? So next week we will be doing more actual GarageBandy stuff, at least GarageBand or Logic Pro related, because I'm working on a secret project at the moment, a secret Christmas song project, which I will be showing in the after party in about 15 minutes time. So if you're a member, you can hang around for the after. Hey, shall I give away some memberships? Let's do it. Given that I don't know if and when and how I can live stream in the future, let's give away some memberships on the show here, because you fine folks have showed up for me here today and are hanging out on the stream. So let's go ahead and do this. Hello, Cap Salam. I did see, I hope you're doing well. I did see your post. And I'm like, no, the flu is bad. So I hope you're doing okay. What was I about to do? Oh yeah, giveaway. Let's give away some memberships, because I think if YouTube still loves me enough, it gives me the option to give away some memberships. Maybe. Where is it? Dollars? Membership gifting? Yes, I can give 10 per month. Let's send 5 of those out right now to all you fine people here. Thank you. I watch the GarageBand videos. I watch the Logic videos. You're easy to listen to. Thank you. Appreciate you. That is awesome. Yeah, I like doing these sort of shows. I know that it's not everyone's cup of tea, that GarageBand Weekly has become more of just a news show where we talk and chat about all the things that are happening in the world of GarageBand and Logic Pro and the world of like music generally and technology. But it's because I've covered a lot of stuff. There's not a lot. I could go back to the well and go, oh, here's how to use effects in GarageBand. Here's how to do this in GarageBand. But the thing is, at this point in time, you can basically put my name and thing in your YouTube search, and you will find the videos that tell you how to do the things. There you go. Memberships have gone out. They've gone to Rosa Patrol. They've gone to Paws and Guitars, BT 2600, Denny Alexander, and April Rocks Studios. Enjoy your gifted membership. Oh, Jay's got a recommendation. Let's talk about this. I got myself a really good USB-C hub yesterday, Pete. Highly recommend. Good quality, cheap. All right, let's now that I've got the link up here, let's have a look at it. I've heard good things about Wavelink. I've had Wavelink stuff in the past. Oh, I like the look of the cable on this one, and it's got network. We were looking for this. Recently, the one that has networking as well. It is this one here that Jade has recommended. It is the USB-C triple 12-in-1 with power delivery. So got two HDMI. Huh, that's cool. So you got one USB-C host with a fixed 25 centimeter cable. You got video interface. You got two HDMI and one DP. You got triple displays you could have out of there. Single display HDMI. Okay, so yeah, like most of them, if you're doing high res, you can really only use one HDMI because otherwise it basically shares the resolution. It's got up to 85 watts of power delivery to host, which is more than enough for most things. You need at least 60 watts of power delivery, so that's definitely over and above. Two USB-A, 5 gigabit per second, which is very nice and quick. Two USB 2. And by the way, if you're wondering like the whole 5 gigabits versus the two, audio interfaces and microphones and stuff and MIDI keyboards, they don't need the speed. So if you're ever connecting something up, the ones that have like usually a blue insert, they're the ones that are your high speed ports, or it'll say high speed or fast or something on there. So always use those for hard drives or things that have a lot of data throughput. Basic things like your audio interfaces, your mixers, your MIDI keyboards, they use virtually very little data throughput. Some audio interface, if you're doing like 192 kilohertz, 24-bit audio or 32-bit float or whatever, you might do. And if you've only got two things plugged in, use the high-speed ports. You got SD and micro, the gigabit, RJ45 is cool. A combo audio. So what's the audio like, Jade? Because notoriously, these things that have audio are just awful. I've had a few of them, and they usually have very poor quality audio from the head. Where is the head? Oh, at the top there. Is that the headphone jack there? Oh, this photo. Oh, stay on that photo. There you go. So yeah, it'd be interesting that in black. Yeah, it would look sick in black. Sick and slick in black. No driver. One UC power, 100 watt. Yeah, cool. That is good. Max, so yeah, so it's got 100 watt, but it supports maximum of 85 watts. So that's pretty darn cool. So yeah, what does it cost? It doesn't have the price. I would guess it's pretty high quality. I'd guess it'd be about a $50-$60 price point for this. Wonder if they've got it on Amazon. Did you get it on eBay, Jade? Let's copy the model number. See if we can find it on the old Amazonian. Amazon, just a little con. Yeah, haven't bothered. $40 from eBay, $40 Australian from eBay. Nice. Haven't bothered with the audio. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't either, but I get a lot of people asking me about it. So yeah, maybe I'll probably like $30 US. I'll have a squiz. We'll have a squiz behind the scene. I bought a Temu one. It actually worked fine, but it claimed to be USB 3. But computer shows it's only USB 2. It was $9 for shipping, so no big loss. Yeah, and again, a bit like how we're talking about the battery packs before and the power packs. Yeah, a bit like those. If you're buying stuff, yeah, It'll say USB 3 or it'll say, mostly if it's Thunderbolt, you'll often just get USB-C. Or if it says USB 3, it'll just be USB 2. Yeah. But again, like I said before, for most people, for audio use, you don't really need USB 3 unless it's hard drives. Hard drives, definitely. USB 2, hard drive speed. It's why you want to get an iPhone Pro. The USB-C port on this is, on the Pro model, is, what's that? The USB-C model port on iPhones that aren't Pros doesn't support high speed at all. So that's when I talk about the regular versus the Pro. If you are using external storage with your iPhone on a regular basis, which is really only for folks that are using it for like shooting, 8K video at like 60 frames, 120 frames a second, then yeah, you need that sort of throughput. And the same with your iPads. Your iPad Pros have Thunderbolt, whereas your iPads only have USB-C, which is a much, much slower technology. Thunderbolt 5 compatible. And that's the problem, because it can say, and a lot of Thunderbolt stuff will say Thunderbolt 5 compatible. And it is, just runs at Thunderbolt 3 speeds. And it's a trap. Hello to Thomas Christ. Look, it's been one of those weeks, hasn't it? Thomas has been all over the shop. I've had all sorts of things going on around here as well. And thank you. Thank you to Leela. By the way, thank you, Leela and Jade. It was absolutely no reflection on either of you, the issues that we had with Your Music Live yesterday. You guys did a bang-up job in the absence of Thomas, so thank you for your support. And Leela, I think a little birdie told me, I hope this isn't top secret, that you might be on the Community Pulse again soon. And maybe I also will. We'll see how that goes. And I also wanted to say, it wasn't any one, even the other. I'm not going to even mention which song it was and which artist it was. It's not their fault. They had this video up and it had no restrictions on it. It had no flags on it. It had no blocks on it. It was 100% approved by YouTube. But apparently, when this guy's mug sits here and plays it, it's suddenly unapproved. And it's to do with the difference between what their policy says about videos versus live streams. So there's actually two separate policy documents. Two parts of the same policy. One talks about live streaming and one talks about videos. And I pointed to the live streaming one and said, I didn't do any of this, please review. And again, we'll still think. We'll still see what happens with that. Alrighty, so that is going to do it for this show. If you are a member and you want to hang around, I will throw a link in here now to the members after party where we'll be having a chat. I saw Tool on the weekend, and I haven't even had a chance to talk about that because of everything else going on in the world, but you've got the link there now. You'll also be sent straight over there at the end of this show if you would like to hang around. I'll be back, I think. The joke's not going to get old because, I'm still like, as long as it keeps working, we'll get there. And there are changes, and that's the thing, there are changes coming, especially around some of the age restriction stuff. Yeah, we're going to have to be super duper careful around that. So trust me, I'll be spending a lot of time reading guidelines. But yeah, if you want to hear a little bit more about this situation and hear about how rad Tool were on the weekend, hang around for the after party. It'll be happening in just a jiffy. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up button. If you wouldn't mind doing that on your way out, I'd appreciate you as well. Don't forget, if you are buying stuff, the Studio Live Today gear guide is there. It is as simple as clicking the link to your country there, whether you're Sweetwater, Amazon, eBay, or Thomann. That'll add a little cookie. I know, none of us love cookies, but this is a good cookie because it means that anything you buy in the next 24 hours, they will break off a chunk and send it my way. So thank you for your support. There he is. There's Thomas Christ. Appreciate you. All righty. Ghost Hackers started their yearly advent calendar of free stuff. Yeah, welcome to December, by the way. Yeah, it was the 1st of December yesterday, and I'm like, fresh month, new things, let's go. Oh, dear. All right, folks, be kind to yourselves. Be kind to others. Keep creating. And I'll see you next time here on GarageBand Weekly. Bye for now. See ya. Oh, bye.